Hey friends, a subconscious healer here with today's breaking free from pain message. Before we get started in that, let's send our brain and our body a signal of safety. How do we do that? Heart-brain coherence. First step, putting our attention right on our heart space. Let's take 3 slow breaths where we're going to exhale longer than we inhale for. Then we think of a moment in our life when we really felt grateful for, and we allow ourselves to feel those feelings of gratitude. Those 3 steps together are a very powerful technology that activates a language our neurology immediately interprets as safety. Putting your attention on your heart space, slowing your breathing down with longer times in the exhaling. So I was a 4 count of inhaling, a 6 count of exhaling slowly. And you do that 3 times in a row, and then you find a moment in your life when you experience something that made you feel very grateful. Recall that memory and participate in that moment. Bring back those feelings of gratitude. And those 3 steps together provide coherence, a great way to send safety to the brain. Today's topic is, does your body betray you? Okay. Many people have the misunderstanding that their body's betraying them, even in autoimmune conditions and people that have chronic pain, particularly things like chronic pain, chronic symptoms that stick around. It's very easy for us to develop the idea that somehow our body is sick, our body is broken. We might have been told it's genetic. We might have been told it runs in the family. We might have even been told these things happen and you just have it. You just happen to get it. And whatever it is, okay, anything from brain fog, chronic fatigue, chronic pain, anxiety, whatever it is, we might be told you just have it. And what often this interpretation leads us to believe is that our body betrayed us. I'm going to share with you that your body does not betray you. Your body is never against you. It's always for you and supporting you, even if you have symptoms, even if you hurt. Every ache, every wave of anxiety we have, every emotional conflict we have, every chronic pain, ache we have in our back, neck, shoulders, sciatica pain, knee pain, whatever it is, it's simply our brain trying to give us a message. It's a communication. It's our brain trying to share with us that something isn't right. It's not a sabotage. It's not a self-betrayal. It's not because you're broken. It's communication. And it has to start there. The healing journey has to start with the clarity of understanding this communication and understanding that our body starts to heal, our body starts to, our brain starts to receive messages of safety and starts to interpret that it is okay. Everything is okay when we first get clarity that our body's not broke. There's communication going on. There's misunderstanding in that communication. And therefore the whispers in the communication have turned to voices, have turned to yelling, has turned to screaming. And so what do we have to do? First off, we have to get very clear and understand that we have to stop judging the signal of the communication and recognize it for what it is. We have to start listening to it for what it is. And what we need to do to understand that is think, okay, if I'm having symptoms that have stuck around for longer than they should have, if my body only knows how to heal, which it only does, I encourage you, if this sounds foreign to you, to think about moments in your life whenever you scraped a knee or you cut your finger in the kitchen working with a sharp knife or something like that. Revisit those moments and just know that your body took care of itself without you doing anything. It just knew what to do. It knew what was necessary for that wound to heal. And this is what the body knows to do best. The body only knows how to heal. It's whenever we interfere with the processes by not understanding the communicative message that it's trying to give us, when there's, I don't want to say when there's delays, but when there's interruption in that healing process. Because the body will still heal. The body will still heal. But we might not have gotten the message that it is healed. We still think something's wrong. We still think there's danger. We still think that there's something that is potentially going to threaten us, all at a very unconscious level. But all of those beliefs, those ideas, those perceptions that we are broken, that we're not healed, that we are in danger, those are the communication mechanisms that the brain uses to get our attention with chronic symptoms. So it has to be clarity first off. And when we have clarity that my body's not broken, it's not betraying me, it's trying to send a message of something that I've not communicated it to, and nobody has taken the time to share with me that this is simply a language I'm not listening to. You know, oftentimes doctors are just as quick trying to silence that communication as we want it silenced. So what happens is we end up masking symptoms. We end up trying to treat the symptoms and ignore the root cause. What's the root cause? The root cause is the brain interprets danger, and it's trying to communicate that to us, right? And it tries to communicate that in a way of ongoing chronic symptoms. So the message today is, you don't have to try to fix yourself today, and I would highly encourage you to get rid of that mindset. Because if you have the mindset that you need to fix yourself, your brain is interpreting from that there actually is something wrong. When the brain interprets that something's wrong, it perceives danger, keeps the signals ongoing, right? But don't try to think of yourself as having to correct yourself or fix yourself or understand this or master this all today. Instead, just take a moment to notice what your body is actually trying to say. Take a moment to notice and recognize that your brain is simply trying to send you a signal that it doesn't feel safe. And when you start to recognize that, and you can actually give your brain feedback that you actually are okay, that you are actually safe, that everything is just fine, and you can do this in a way that it understands, like a scared child or a scared animal on the ground, a scared puppy. You know, how would you communicate safety to an animal on the ground that's frightened and scared? A scared puppy. Gentle, curious, open, warm. And it's very difficult for people to give this kind of communication to themselves, to their brain, when they have full out symptoms. I understand that completely. Or it's difficult to give this kind of communication to the brain when the person feels that their body is betraying them. But this is where it starts. This is where the rubber hits the road. You first recognize your body's not betraying you. It's simply communication. Communication that's been ignored. The message has not been listened to. Okay? When you start listening to the message, it's a message that the brain feels that there's some kind of danger taking place. When you can start to convey safety to the brain, now the communication loop is now properly aligned. The brain starts to get the message. Now it may take, several tries. It may take one try, because maybe the brain isn't quite convinced that it's safe yet. That's really what it comes down to. So when you can start to communicate the message of safety to it in a lighthearted, curious way, the communication established to it, it begins to get that message of safety, and the symptoms turn off. It's that simple. It's that simple. It takes repetition, it takes understanding, and it takes clarity for the work to actually start taking effect. So today's message: your body didn't betray you. It's always for you. It's always trying to protect you and keep you safe. And don't try to focus on fixing yourself. That's the wrong mindset. Just instead notice what your body and brain is trying to tell you, and give it messages of safety. Okay? Lots more ahead. Thank you for joining me today, and we will see you soon with more wonderful information on how to break free from pain.